The American college system is in crisis. According to recent research published by the Federal Reserve Bank, attending college no longer provides graduates with an advantage in finding a job. College doesn't work anymore, and people are starting to figure it out. A recent NBC poll found that the number of Americans who think college is worthwhile has dropped from 60% in 2013 to a rapidly shrinking 33% in 2025. Into that environment arrived season 2 of the hit Netflix series A Man on the Inside.
Uh-oh.
What started out as a show about elderly people in a nursing home has now been transformed into a persuasion tool designed to trick young people into giving colleges their money.
Made a lot of memories here, and you can't really put a price tag on that, you know?
No matter if going there helps them or not.
You can. It's $86,000 a year.
If you watched season 2 of A Man on the Inside, whether you realized it or not, you were being screenwashed. The primary technique used by A Man on the Inside to influence your brain is called poisoning the well. Poisoning the well is a propaganda technique that preemptively discredits a source by presenting negative information about it, biasing the audience against their future arguments or ideas. In screenwriting, this is sometimes described as the crazy person speaks the truth trope. In movies and in real life, it's used deliberately to make the audience reject valid ideas by making those ideas sound deranged through the way they're delivered, or by making the person saying them seem insane, or by making the people opposed to those logical ideas into some sort of heroes.
Try these on.
Look, you crazy mother.
Put these on.
Hey! Stay away from me!
I'm telling you, you dumb son of a...
By making the chief spokesman for an idea you want discredited look like a lunatic or a bad guy, you can bias an audience against the ideas this person advocates for without them realizing what's going on.
They're sending some kind of signals out of TV sets.
So what does that have to do with A Man on the Inside? Everything. Season 2 of the show revolves around a place named Wheeler College. Like all modern college campuses, it's an opulent palace of marble, detailed woodwork, and perfectly manicured park-like grounds. I guess being surrounded by marble helps students learn better somehow? Whether all that marble is really necessary to learning or not doesn't matter, because the staff there doesn't really do anything or teach anything of value. They get drunk a lot and sneer at people who do useful things like build bridges. Really, this scene actually happens. Look, here it is.
Engineering is an advanced science.
Oh, yes. That bridge is big. What if we built one that's bigger? Fascinating stuff.
And regularly brag about how everything they teach is totally and completely useless in the outside world. You might think these college professors would be the show's villains.
Unbelievable. We're paying for a cash bar at our own party. And he's handing out $100 Cubans.
But instead, they're cast as A Man on the Inside's sympathetic heroes. Ted Danson plays A Man on the Inside's series lead, an elderly detective named Charles Neuendijk. He's hired to infiltrate the college and pretend to be a professor in order to find out who stole a laptop containing sensitive information.
Oh, the structural engineer. I've been out marveling at walls, have you?
Should that laptop fall into the wrong hands, Wheeler College would lose the free money it's getting from an asshole billionaire named Vinnick, played by Office Space's Gary Cole.
Let me introduce you to my wife and daughter. Oh, yeah, I can see the family resemblance. Nope, that's the wife.
Vinnick, we learn, has a plan to turn the college into a palace of learning. He wants Wheeler to become a leader in real education.
This whole school would become a laboratory of efficiency, churning out business leaders and innovators.
A place that will help teach the innovators of the future and send its students out into the world to become future millionaires and billionaires just like him.
Might even lead to one of these kids getting a job.
That plan makes him the season's primary villain, and the heroic staff of Wheeler College, with the aid of Neuendijk, sets out to stop him from making their campus into something useful that might be good for its students.
We value community and knowledge for knowledge's sake.
$86,000 a year.
In addition to poisoning the well, another screenwashing technique being used by the show is a sales and hypnosis method called thinking past the sale. In thinking past the sale, rather than making an argument to bring someone to your point of view, you get them to think about the result of what you want and skip over the decision point. In A Man on the Inside, we're shown how idyllic and perfect life can be when college is useless and of no value, thinking past the sale of whether that's a good idea. So we're shown to beautiful scenes of campus life, endless speeches about how college is a family.
What did Wheeler find?
What he found was a family.
And we watch college professors getting drunk and going to parties and basically never doing any work at all, even when they're in their opulent offices. College is portrayed as a paradise.
Back to drinking.
A paradise that only works as long as it's totally useless, and nobody does anything or learns anything of value.
All these pointless subjects: philosophy, art history, fashion design. Hey, look, it's my senior thesis. Pants.
Guarding against the audience diverging from their programming is Vinnick, always at hand to show up and wonder why no one is learning anything.
Community, knowledge, we're smart and broke.
He does that while being a huge cartoonish jerk, just to make sure you associate his opinions on education needing to be useful.
I was trying to save this place. Project Aurora would have churned out millionaires and billionaires, kids who make real money in tech and business.
As being totally evil and completely awful.
I, the only good person in the world.
By the time the season's over, Neuendijk's own daughter has abandoned the successful career she used to support his grandchildren so she can join the wonderful world of taxpayer-funded.
My first 2 years, I had like a bunch of loans and grants, and then the rest of my tuition was paid for because my family is under the income threshold.
Lifelong students and lazy college professors.
And was awarded an annual stipend to honor the legacy of James Joyce.
The best way to honor his legacy was to throw a party where we all get drunk.
I guess her husband will have to pick up an extra shift so she can drink coffee by the fountain in the quad. Meanwhile, Vinnick has been banished back to the evil lair of people who want students to be successful. Although a man on the inside's execution of the poisoning the well and thinking past the sale techniques might seem clumsy and unlikely to work, they've frequently worked as propaganda tools in the past. Check out this video on how the Stepford wives screenwashed the world into poverty back in the 1970s for another example.
Look! Look at them, they're everywhere!
A man on the inside's screenwashing operation successfully flips the script on reality. In the actual 2025 United States, parents are pulling second mortgages and teenagers are drowning in six-figure debt
$86,000 a year.
for degrees that only qualify them to ask, do you want fries with that?
I literally have 12 other jobs.
Meanwhile, Netflix serves up 8 hours of lavishly produced, subtle messaging, in which the only sin worse than uselessness is usefulness itself.
Knowledge for knowledge's sake.
The message of the show is, if you question the value of college, you're not just wrong, you're a heartless, money-obsessed monster who hates family, community, and fountainside coffee chats. Congratulations, future unemployed graduates, you've been screenwashed.
Proud are we of mighty Redfield. How